Today is March 14th at 6:36 p.m. and this is a meeting of the Hanson Recreation Committee. All in attendance, we got Melissa, we have Sheila, and we have Carolyn as well, and also Dory and multiple people in the audience. Awesome. So first order of business is to approve the meetings from February 15th. Did everybody get a chance to look them over? Okay, so I will entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February 15th.
Motion to approve.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Awesome. Great, and the second order of business is Sue from the Steam Up, Sue's from South Shore Skating Club. And then, am I missing this right here?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Tori. Okay, so Sue from the South Shore Skating Club. Hey, Sue.
It's Karen, actually. Sue.
Okay, great.
But that's
Upstairs.
okay. I'm still from Social Skating Club.
Awesome.
We just wanted to rent the hall for a skating banquet that we have, a club banquet. Social Skating Club has a banquet every year. We haven't been able to do it for COVID reasons, and we just tried to swap up a place, find a new place to do it, and we fell in love with this place. And we think it might be great for the girls to just go exploring and things, and we were hoping, because we're a nonprofit, that maybe the cost, we could have a reduction in the cost of the hall.
Okay.
Whatever it costs to pay for the food, that's like kind of what we charge for the ticket, and it's not like anything we try to make money off with the club. Everything that we do, if we generate any money, goes back into the club to try to reduce the ice costs that we have going forward because ice costs just keep going up every year. So.
Okay, and what was the date that you wanted to do this on?
May 20th?
May 20th. Okay. Do we have anything on May 20th?
It's clear.
It's clear.
Yeah.
Okay. And what hours would you guys be doing?
I think set up at 5, and then we would be here until 10 o'clock.
At night?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we need to reduce it to like 9, that's fine. The girls just love to dance. Next best thing to skating is dancing.
Awesome.
So, and the age range is like 12 to like 17.
Okay. Awesome. So how much would it cost for caretakers for that amount of time?
So caretaker cost would be $15 an hour, so that's 5 hours.
So we need two caretakers for that?
I think just one.
Just one
Big
caretaker?
man, just
Or
one.
we need two?
You think 2 in the middle?
If you were 5 to 11,
2 to close, 5 to 10?
I would say minimum 3. Because we need people to set up in the morning, and clean, and then to stay throughout, and then one person can close it. But
So 3
I
caretakers
think 3.
for like an hour or 2, like it's 5 to 10.
Would it be 3 the whole event?
It's 5 hours for the whole event.
I would do. Give me a second.
Okay, so while Maddie's doing the math on that, does anybody have any questions regarding this? Or any discussion regarding this? I'm personally, since you guys are a nonprofit, right? You guys have the forms and everything like that to show that you're a nonprofit?
Oh yes, not on me tonight, but I do have them. I can get them from the board. Yeah.
Okay, so if you can provide us the forms for a nonprofit, we can't give you a free hall rental.
Of course,
What
yeah.
we can give you is the cost of the caretakers. That's what I would like to do, but the committee can speak for themselves.
Do I won't leave a regular?
$500.
It would be $500.
Yeah, okay.
And we're going to have a caterer come in. We chose Fork in the Road from your suggestions.
Oh, okay.
They're familiar with you guys and how this works.
Okay.
9 hours.
So it'll be 9 hours.
We could come in an hour early to do setup, and we would expect to be staying an hour late to make sure we lock up the building and close everything.
Okay, so 9 total
So we
hours.
get overlap and we get it.
So we want to.
So, okay, because we would charge a caterer fee as well, but, I would, my personal opinion is if we charge you $200 for the hall, and then we can waive the caterer fee on top of that.
That's fantastic.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else have any discussion on that? No, this is all pending you providing the nonprofit forms and things like that associated with the skating club, please.
Okay.
Just so we know that. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the South Shore Skating Club for the night of May May 20th, for a reduced rate of $200.
Second.
Second, all those in favor? Okay, awesome. Yeah, Dory will make sure that's booked in the calendar. If you could just send that information over to Dory, that'd be great.
I can do that. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, and next we have Tori from the Steam Up presentation. Hey, Tori. I
Hi.
heard you have 3 kids at home, so I don't know why you want to leave so long. I could've put you at the bottom of the-
I should say. So I just want to give an intro to Tori. So basically I reached out to Tori and her husband about providing some programming from some STEAM workshops. She actually is a local business out of Hanson. And we're really looking to provide programming to the kids of Hanson and surrounding areas. So she actually runs these programs. She actually runs some programs at the Hanson Library as well.
Okay.
So I was hoping to bring some programming here for the summer. She's actually working with Margaret Hickey with her camp,
Okay.
but some one-off separate programming. So, just go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm Tori. My husband Mitch couldn't make it, and yes, like you heard, I left my 3 kids at home with my very loving mother-in-law, and they were quite rambunctious when I left. So, but a little bit about Steam Up, about me. My husband and I, during the COVID shutdown, we were looking for things just to kind of do with our kids, and we have an almost 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a soon-to-be 1-year-old. So and obviously the 1-year-old wasn't here with us yet because of the COVID shutdown, because that was a few years ago. But anyway, I digress. So we were just kind of talking with each other and wondering what we could do to have more opportunities when we opened back up, and we hadn't really seen much STEM or STEAM offerings in the area, especially ones that were accessible and not extremely expensive. And I was a STEAM teacher, and now I'm an innovation specialist. So I work with teachers in Marshfield to help them integrate technology, digital learning, and STEM and STEAM into their classrooms. And previously, I was the 2020 Massachusetts STEM Teacher of the Year, and I wrote a book, and I had a podcast. So STEAM is something we really love, and my husband loves building and creating, and we have robots and Legos all over the house. And so when we were trying to think of some fun things, we had started approaching the local libraries, and I think that's kind of where Melissa heard about us. We've been working with the Hanson Public Library and a few other ones in town, just bringing accessible events and programming to kids in the area. And we were hoping to maybe start something at the camp. Mitch, my husband, grew up in Hanson. I honestly remember the first time he talked about the camp when we first started dating. I was like, what are you talking about? 'Cause I'm not from around here. And we ended up getting married here. So we love this place, and we think it's magical. There's something about it that is just so much fun. It's fun to be here. We love walking around here, and to be able to provide some programming, it would just be so fun for us. So we were thinking about starting small with some fun spring events, spring programming. So 3 different Sundays that kids in K-2 and 3-5, or grades K-2 and 3-5 could sign up for. K-2 the first hour and 3-5 the second hour. So that way families, if they wanted to, if they had older kids and younger kids, they could probably hang out at the camp and walk around and stuff during it. And we wanted to have a theme for each Sunday, so plants, animals, and water, really using all the resources that the camp has to offer, going on a nature walk and finding plants, and looking at all the different endangered species and everything, and then having the kids do their own experiment where they could have 2 different pots, and then they could decide if they wanted to have 2 different types of pots, or have one pot grow somewhere and in a different location, like one in the closet, one in the sun, like so they can decide what they want for their experiment, and then they'll have a journal that they can draw pictures or write little notes on throughout the weeks that we're here, so that every time they come back they can update us, how are the plants doing, which one's growing, and then for the older kids, all of that, plus we'll talk more about poisonous plants and what to avoid and everything like that. And for animals, for the second Sunday, we wanted to go on, again, a nature walk and find animals or animal homes or animal prints, just traces of animals around the camp. And the kids can either build an animal home or an animal feeder, and they'll take it home, and again, they'll observe, see what happens with it over the couple of weeks, and then the older kids will be able to build both. And for our third Sunday, we were thinking it'll be a little bit warmer because it'll be in May, and we can do some observations with the water, take water samples, and look to see what's inside the water, and then also do an erosion activity. One of Mitch's favorite memories was with West Floss, and I think that's what he said, and they had an erosion thing that they did at the camp. He's like, we gotta bring her back.
You'll be lucky down the beach, there's a lot of erosion down there.
Yeah, hopefully the bees won't be there yet.
Yeah, that's good for Animal Day.
But anyway, yeah, we thought it would be cool for the kids to see what happens if you block a river, and that they can make their own pathways, and what happens when you flood a river, so they can do some experiments like that, and the older kids can make dams, and they can have a challenge to keep the river intact if we flood it. So we're kind of hoping for a nice spring start, and then like Melissa said, we'll also be supporting Margaret Cameron with the camp, if the camp gets approved, so fingers crossed. We will help her with some science and some STEM activities for that, and I think Mitch will be working closely with her, but more to come on that. So
Awesome.
Anyway, we're hoping this is kind of the start of really.
Sounds great.
supporting the
So,
camp.
question for you. So how much are you guys charging per kid that's coming to the program that's here? What's the attendance supposed to be like? So how many kids would you have for class?
Yeah, so we were thinking if they signed up for the 3 days, it would be 75. If they signed up to 1, it would be 30. We wanted to we looked at the prices, we talked with Melissa about different programs, and it looked like $25 was kind of the norm. So we wanted to keep it with that, keep it around that. And then we were thinking a minimum of 10 kids to sign up for.
Okay, so a minimum of 10 kids, but it could be 20 or 30 hours.
Our max would, because it's just the 2 of us, so we'll probably max out to 20, I think is the most, yeah. We're used to kids, because obviously teaching background, but it gets a little different when
And we'll have to
we
see,
have
if we start this and it becomes really popular, we can add more, sessions or whatever. My only thing was, based on so she does, her registration, she does through Square. So how would, I want to make sure that we follow all the policies and procedures of how we sign them up and how do we make them, and everything will be outside, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything, so they
unless it's downpouring, we hope to be outside and be
Right, and so they wouldn't need use of the lodge. They would probably need the bathrooms open, I would think.
Yeah.
So would we have to make them an official vendor, the 80-20 split, or, how, I just want to make sure that we're following.
So do you guys have insurance for the company?
Yeah, we have
Okay,
liability
so-
insurance.
I just want to make sure we're doing it
The
correctly.
80-20 split would probably be the best way to do it.
Right.
And that, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, or if Melissa's explained what the 80-20
Yeah,
split.
she
Okay, she
explained
has, okay, great. So, and you're okay with that? With that? Okay, awesome. So, that would be, I think, the easiest way, right, Dory, just do the
Yeah.
80-20 split?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So basically, we have we have an contract, a vendor contract that you guys would sign, and then the insurance would have to be provided, and then, yeah, it would just be the 80/20.
Yeah. So, you guys wouldn't need the lodge if you need the bathrooms open. I'm not sure if the bathrooms are open.
I mean, I could even come and if we wouldn't need a caretaker per se. I mean, could it be a recreation commission member to open the bathrooms for them?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Without having to pay a caretaker, you know what I mean?
Right, yes.
Okay.
And I mean, we could have the cell-hand bathrooms too.
Right.
Open, if there's not a wedding or something. I
Right, right.
Check the calendar, but yeah, we can certainly open up the
Okay.
lodge bathrooms, yeah.
Okay.
And as for square or Eventbrite, we don't care. We'll do whatever you guys want.
So the only
First
thing is, when you have these dates signed up and people in Square sign up on them, we're just gonna need receipts of the people who signed up for it, and the amount that you took in, and then whatever you.
Because I think that with Square, you can generate reports and stuff like that through that, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so.
And then what you said earlier, if it is really popular, we can add more times. We have 10 to 11, 11 to 12, but if we needed to put more in the morning or in the afternoon, we're pretty flexible. We're up for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how this wouldn't be popular.
I know, so I'm trying to like,
It's gonna take off, right?
Yeah,
I hope
it's
so.
gonna be-
I would consider two things. I would consider maybe putting 15 minutes in between the two sessions, only because arrival and dismissal can get so chaotic.
Yeah,
And
that's a good
It
point.
sounds like such
Yeah.
a great experience to fit into an hour that I would want kids to lose some of that time. And then I think you should definitely consider a pre-K program.
I know, so our 3 kids are 5 and
Yeah,
under.
they would love it.
What could we do
Who
for
knows?
them?
But I do appreciate you including 5th grade, because they bumped 5th grade to middle school, and some people forget they're still
Yeah.
young and they
Yeah.
can thrive too.
Would you want us to be considering a pre-K program for these 3 dates?
I think kids in the preschools with Whitman Hanson would,
I think they would
Jump
love
for
it
the
too.
next one.
The only thing is, I would kind of want you guys to run through, like, use this as your, use this as your test plan, see how it goes, and if the next sessions that come up, if you guys want to add a pre-K program in there, I mean, you guys can make that decision, obviously.
Yeah.
Do it, but, yeah, I mean.
That's a great idea.
When we had chatted with Melissa too, we thought parents would stay. They don't have to necessarily be involved, but the K to 2, they're little.
Yeah.
So we would want them to stay on the grounds somewhere. And then we weren't sure about 3 to 5. So what's your
I think it depends on what they are. but-
Yeah.
It's an option.
Yeah.
I think it's great because we have the option to say you can stay on the grounds but not hover, So
Yeah.
I think it can always be an option for any age.
Okay.
I would suggest that you ask the parents to stay on the grounds. As a former daycare operator out of my own home, you know what's going to happen in that hour. They're going to be running down to Shaw's, and at 12:15, you're going to be standing here waiting for parents.
We were a little worried about that.
12:20, yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty to do here for an hour.
Right.
You walk down the beach,
It's a
you
long
walk back
time,
up.
right.
It's about,
And
yeah.
we're gonna tan.
Yeah, we're gonna be a
In
tan.
April.
A nice Hanson tan. Yeah, no, this is great though. Yeah, I mean, I would just work with Dory about the appropriate vendor contract and things like that. Does anybody have any further discussion? No?
No, and then you have the social media on your side, and then we would all actually, we could promote it on our side as well.
Yeah, we will make marketing and you guys can just send it out.
Perfect.
Patty has a question.
All I was gonna say is for May 1st, we have family camping weekend blocked off. They must have.
Okay,
What do you-
and that's from, yeah, so that should be, I think it should probably be okay. May 1st that's a Sunday, right?
It's a Sunday, it has Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all blocked
Friday,
off.
Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so like if people would be checking out probably around that time on,
And they're outside, like, they can use the grounds, I mean, it's, it's the last one, right? So it's the McQuon. So
It's the pump,
Yeah.
it's the water.
Yeah.
okay.
We'll probably be down on the
So you guys will be at
coast.
the Cove on that day?
Yeah.
May 1st, okay. Yeah, I think that should probably work. Right?
I've never been to a family camping weekend, so I don't know what it is.
Well, it's not gonna be the same that it was before. It's more just gonna be like, just families who've never, I mean, I'm putting it together still, but it's not gonna be like we're not gonna have like bouncy houses everywhere. It's not gonna be like. Yeah, no, I heard like there was like, we're not gonna have like caterers or anything like that for either, or anything like that, no. It's just gonna be essentially people, the families in Hanson, I mean, again, I'll talk about it now, but the families in Hanson can just pretty much camp that weekend at a reduced rate. And, fill up the cabins and, just camp so they know it's here, and things like that. It's not gonna be anything fancy, so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Did we have to vote on anything, Dory? or-
I would take a vote on that, yeah, particularly with the 80-20 split.
Okay.
And then I can forward you out the paperwork tomorrow.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the STEAM Up program to run for these 3 dates, and hopefully more in the future. At the 80-20 split vendor contract.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yay!
Thank you very much.
I don't want to be rude, but
No, you're
Not a problem.
Thank you, Tori, we'll be talking.
okay, Karen.
Okay, so let's see. So next order of business is the Hanson Green invitation. I know Audrey was going to be here for this. I don't know if we should table it or if we have any more information on it until Audrey gets back.
Yeah, I don't have any information on it. Maybe we
Okay,
table
so
it.
yeah, let's table it until Audrey gets back.
Yeah.
And then we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, Board of Selectmen policies and procedures amendment. So I went to the Board of Selectmen meeting about 2 weeks ago now. They had a couple of amendments that they wanted to add to the policies and procedures. One of those amendments was having 2 free Cranberry Cove passes at the library. I know that was supposed to be in there before, so, and the other one was to add somewhere in the policies and procedures that all of this is not superseded by the ethics of the state, and that the ethics board and laws essentially override this. That's what Laura wanted, so I'm not sure how to work that in here, but I guess we could figure that out. But once we make those 2 amendments to it, the Board of Selectmen approve our policies and procedures. And on top of the policies and procedures, also with the job descriptions as well. So they want to add job descriptions for all the descriptions that we presented with them, with a line that said, in any task given. So just kind of covers it for any task given. Is there any discussion on those 2 points? No?
Not on those 2 points, but I know that, I did believe, it wasn't at the meeting, but I know Matt Dyer brought up a business plan.
A business plan, yes. So
So,
he did bring up a business plan. I did not put that on the agenda for this time because we had, I didn't know how long this policies and procedures was going to take, so I can put it on the agenda for next time, but that is something that he's looking for.
Have you seen the business plan that we did a couple of years ago?
I have not.
Okay, I'll forward that to you.
Yeah, if you could forward that, that'd be great. I know Audrey did a great job on the budget that we had, that we presented for the price increases, so.
We did work on a business plan, it was before, I was actually probably before COVID, and then everything went crazy, but, yeah, we do have a draft, that's something. I'll send that to you.
Thank you. Okay, so if there's no discussion on those 2 points, I'll take the policy and procedures first. Do I have a motion to approve the policies and procedures, adding the 2 Cranberry Cove tickets at the library, and then also probably on the last page, page 20, we'll add another line there saying, the Mass General Law supersedes this policies and procedures.
Second.
Second, all those in favor? Thank you. And then also I'll take a motion for approving the job descriptions, all 3 of the job descriptions, by adding any task assigned to the job description as well. Is there a second with that?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Awesome. Great. Okay, so next order of business is the wage and person, we already did that, sorry. That was what we just did. Okay, and the next one is the maintenance report. So I walked camp a couple weeks ago, and this is the big packet that we have in front of us right here. We don't have to go through every single one of them, but took some pictures of some things that were at the camp that needed to be fixed, trees that needed to come down, certain maintenance tasks that needed to be, and I try to get the page numbers as best as I could, matching with the cabin that's there. So if it's off by a little bit, So if we just want to take a minute to look over those. Yeah.
Is that true leaving, Kevin?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
This looks great. Looks like it's finished.
Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna email it to you guys also, because I probably can't see it too much in there, but if you do, just pass the ones that you've already looked at over to Sheila.
Yeah.
No, I think,
Yeah, you think
You get that, yeah, you can just go.
No, these ones look like they were completed, so that's good.
because there's no numbers on it. There's actually no numbers too.
So is this to kind of get an like an overall assessment of what we need? Is there, because I know, do we have any grant money or anything left for any of these repairs, or are we done with that?
Well, actually, on the next agenda, I was gonna put on the CPC request, because I know, I was actually speaking with Diane, who's a member at large of the Community Preservation Committee, and they're asking all boards and commissions and committees to put forward a request. So I was gonna put that on our next agenda, so that would be, I think, a great thing to request from the CPC,
Okay.
maintenance.
So I'm not looking for any action on these items, this is more of just, you know, we walked the camp, saw some things that needed to be fixed, and just kind of keep everybody up to date on it. I know that, you know, I'm a part of the facilities team this year, so, you know, yeah. And I'm gonna email this out to everybody, it's just 40 pages long.
Yeah.
Color printers, kind of crazy, so.
Or if we could get any funds, you know,
Yeah.
you know, at least some of the emergency stuff.
And I know the ARPA funds is still being discussed,
Right.
you know, to get anything, I believe, there.
Okay.
You guys are still going through it, I'm wondering if you actually seen anything on there.
No, I'm just saving the tree over here. I'm good.
Yeah, there's quite a few things in there, so I try to take as many pictures as possible without being redundant, so. I know it's particularly hard this year because we don't have, you know, too many funds to fix the things that we run the camp, and it's kind of a, you know, like I said, the board, it goes over
Yeah.
so you can see it. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right, because we're gonna have to ask the town for money, but if we don't approve the money, then the camp is gonna deteriorate further than what it is if we don't fix the things over there, so. You know, this is just a FYI, so everybody's kind of on the same page about some things that need to be fixed around the camp, and I can email it out to anyone who's interested in it, so.
And then maybe we can include, you know, maybe Diane would be willing to help us with that. She writes too.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe write some kind of grant
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Are these all things that can be fixed without permits and stuff?
No, they're mixed. I didn't go off of permits and non-permits and things like that. Some of the trees and everything like that can be fixed. There's a couple there that needs a crane to be, you know, to come and take them down, and an arborist and things. There's some that are just straight dead. There's some cosmetic issues, obviously, like we know. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. We don't want it to be perfect, but it's kind of the beauty of the camp. But yeah. So, you know, some of the things that's in there, it's going to be kind of hard to see what exactly is going on. I can explain to other people if they're interested. So, is there any discussion on any of those kind of maintenance items that are in there? No? Okay. And like I said, I'll forward this off. I'll have Dory forward this off to everybody that's here. You know, there's a lot of trees that need to be taken down, things like that. Some cosmetic stuff that needs to be fixed as well. So. Nothing too crazy though. I know there's electrical work that needs to be done on top of the south and bathhouse as well, which is kind of crazy because it's tilted to the side and there's a tree that looks like it's going to come down. So it's kind of hard. We can't really action because we don't really have much money. But anyway, okay. So let me cross off the maintenance report on there. Okay, so discussion of submission of fiscal year 2023 town meeting articles. This is kind of just the standard article that says, anybody have any articles that they'd like to bring in front of the town meeting? No, nothing crazy? Okay, cool. over that. Serve Safe certification for caretaker story, did we talk to the Board of Health more?
Just that, yeah, we would need the complete certification, not that $25 one that was just like a food handler.
Okay.
So we would need to talk about who do we want to get serve safe, and it'd be about $150.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I mean, so is there any discussion on that?
and it's for events, like the Winter Wonderland was fine, we cleared it with the Board of Health because we were only having cocoa. But if it were an event like that with food, we would need somebody here with serve safe.
Okay.
So for the future, so I don't, I know we keep talking about it, but.
Yeah, I think this discussion's probably gonna be better met after town meeting, once we actually have.
Yeah, because we don't have anything scheduled without,
What's our funds to actually, to
I
do
agree.
anything, not just doing it, but I don't wanna waste, $450 on something, we don't have that money right now.
I'll keep it on the, in the list,
Yeah, we can visit that after town meeting, thank you. Okay, status of the fiscal year 2022 budget. Dory, do you want to take this over?
Oh, sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is just a standard item every meeting. We have the budget. This is as it stands today. You can see, over the right-hand column, it tells you how much it's expended. You can see in one of the salary line items we're in a deficit, but we are not in a deficit, the other salary line item. And many expense items are deficit, but some are not. So it looks like we're probably going to run out of salaries, I'm thinking the end of May, and I think we'll be able to do that end-of-year transfer, as is it's the end of May and June. Transfer some money from our expense line item into our salary line item, and I think we'll be okay. So that's still where we're looking at now, provided something doesn't come down the pipe that we're not expecting, but not expecting anything crazy.
Okay.
So we should be okay, hopefully.
Awesome.
So far, so good.
Okay, and on that,
85.
yeah, on that note, I have a meeting with the FinCom. They've asked me to come to the meeting tomorrow to address because we are going to be asking the town for money on the town meeting. So they would like to me to go there and explain the budgets and what we've had in the past and kind of how we're faring compared to, obviously the last 2 years has been hard. So does anybody have a discussion of the fiscal year 2022 budget? No? Nothing? I feel like I'm being off topic. Okay, okay.
I mean, probably, the other thing too is, if you bring, that we're booked, we're booked solid. We show proof that we are, still selling
Yeah,
Yep.
weddings, and we increased our rates.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, is to bring up all the bookings that we have and everything like that, see how many bookings we actually have for this year into next year, so we give a little bit more of a, FinCom's not very forgiving.
I know.
For how we're,
And,
so.
That's a good idea, though, just to get.
Just like positivity, like what we're trying to do,
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'll get that.
we did the rate increase too, so it's not like we're not looking for more revenue than
And even with, if I may, Mr. Chairman, even with the tours that they did one today, even with the rate increase, everybody says we're still the lowest around. There's no pushback whatsoever on the rates. And we're going to almost double. We're really going to go from like 5,000 to 9,000. So it's going to be a big difference for us. We just need to get there.
Awesome. Okay, no discussion on the fiscal year 2022 budget, great. So we'll go over to team reports. Does anybody have anything to report? I know that you guys did the awesome story walk yesterday. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we didn't really know what to expect. It was, we marketed it, we kind of put it out on social media. And Sheila was a rock star. She is like, you are. So we kind of, we had a DJ, DJ Steve, he's out of Whitman. He was great. We did the hot cocoa station, selfie station, and we did some arts and crafts. And then we decorated the South Bank cabins. We had the Girl Scout troop, Kai Brownie troop, and then Hanson PTO decorate cabins. So that was really cute. And we did a little contest. We did snowflakes. Our teacher at Indian Head had all the kids do snowflakes. So we put those up on the trees, and then they had to go around and count how many snowflakes there were. And and then vote for their favorite captain.
And that seemed like that got a lot of kids here, because as soon as they got home, they was like, we have to find our stuff.
Right.
So that was a really.
And there were like 1,000, so we didn't put them all up, but it was, they're gonna get them back, so we'll
Like that.
yeah, but yeah. And then we did the story walk in the north end, so we just went down the path and kind of looped around. Big thanks to the 200th anniversary committee. They really supplied the budget for this because we really didn't have any budget. And then Shaw's provided the hot cocoa. They actually provided it for the Halloween event that was canceled, so we had that left over. So all the hot chocolate was provided by Shaw's. And yeah, and then Webster Printing provided all the story walk boards and the maps, and they provided all the pencils as well. So it really was, you know, a community like help. Yeah, and I think the kids, you know, they just love to be here and just be with each other and, you know, dance around and, yeah.
And there was a bubble machine.
And there was a and there was a bubble machine. It's the simple things in life.
Yeah, it's a simple.
So yeah, I mean, it was good. It was a lot of work, but it was fun.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. And I know there was caretakers here as well. Jen, I saw you yesterday at the bonfire.
Jen was the fire,
The fire master.
the firekeeper that was blazing.
I went there and I was like, I'm gonna go now.
Well, I felt bad because I was like, oh, Jen must be so cold. And then I saw the fire, and she's fine.
She didn't take that, she just went, hey, power.
Well, thank you very much. And then Maddie helped with the decorations and all that, so appreciate you guys. And then,
When he comes back, you can also thank Jack, because Jack really wanted to help me put the wood inside.
Yes.
He did.
and Roger helped me move all the decorations and all that, so I appreciate all your help.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was really awesome.
Yeah, I don't even know, I can't even begin to, I mean, there were probably over 200 people maybe.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So it was good, it was good.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff that we're supposed to be providing to the town, fun stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And people stayed the whole time too, regardless about the time, you know, especially with the clock change and stuff, but we were like, okay, taking them out, you know?
Yeah, it was nice to have some daylight.
Yeah, it was
At
great.
7 o'clock,
Yeah,
you know?
wow.
This is actually really nice.
Kids weren't leaving.
I know.
They needed it, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Around.
I know. Oh, and then the other thing too was a school night, so it was like, you know, well, we gotta get a lot of people. and-
Right.
But you know, I mean, it was, we got the before dinner crowd and the after dinner crowd, so it was good. So,
Awesome. Yeah, great job. Is there any other team reports or anything like that? No?
I didn't know, and so I wanted to bring this up, just to bring it up. I don't know, I'm not on the committee technically, but the cove and hiring. We have put the job descriptions out there about a beach director and all that, and lifeguards, and I guess Tori told me the other day that we haven't gotten any applications at all. And especially with, I don't know when we have to make a decision about opening the cove, if we have to make a decision, you know, when we have to make a decision about, you know, do we open it, you know, at your own risk, like we did in past years, because we don't have the budget, you know, we don't have the budget to pay people, you know, pay staff at this point. So, you know, when do we have to make a decision about what we need to do for the summer?
I know that hiring people right now is paying for everybody. And, you know, the amount of money that we're paying for positions that we're looking for is not competitive. So that's something I can put on the next agenda. Is, you know, kind of figure out what we should, you know, if we should do swimming hours this year. I know that we're looking to have the highway department move some sand from the beach to get, you know, hopefully roll down the lost issue that we have there. Or hopefully we don't have it this year. But it comes in this, what are we going to replace the prices today? Because we don't really have money to fill in the room or anything like that. So I'm kind of interested to see what we do with that. So I think we should, next meeting, we should have, I'll put it specifically on the agenda, we should have a much bigger meeting about the cove in general. Because, you know, me and Audrey, whereas we're on the cove team, we can't really, that's a very big decision. So yeah.
Where is the application posted?
It's on the town website and also on the Facebook
Yeah, I've been trying to share it on the Facebook page and things like that, you know, it's on the website.
And I did reach out to, we did have a candidate last year for the beach director, but she's graduated now and she's got a full-time job now, so she can't. She did know people at the Y that might be interested, so she's gonna try to help us out, but I can do that.
So there is some money to pay, because if the application's open, there's money to hire.
I think we'll know more in a couple of weeks, we'll know a lot more than we know right now. Yeah.
So you don't want to share the application. Somebody comes and spends their time looking for it, and there's no money to pay.
That's what my concern is.
Right.
Because I'd be more than happy to have people in that age range that love jobs like that, so.
That's kind of, this goes back to the fiscal 22 budget, so we're kind of a little steep right now. But yeah, I mean, there's, you know, hopefully in May, when we have, you know, the transfer stuff, we it's a little clearer. But, yeah, I know we have Margaret, who's going to be doing, who's going to be presenting to us the beach program, so maybe she might be able to assist in some of that.
I mean, at least, you know, with her program, she'll be providing lessons, right? Is that-
Yeah, she actually has to be on the next agenda.
Right, so she might be providing lessons, so maybe, I mean, you know, maybe we can't go full on opening and charging and but at least try the lessons and maybe open it at your own risk and.
We've opened it at our own risk for the past 2 years.
Right.
Has there been really any issues with that? I mean, the only real issue that I can see, the issue we don't have is like we can't sell the passes.
Right, well, that's my, and that's the whole thing, like, that's part of our income, right? Like, that's a piece, you know, that we can make money from.
How much do we make off the passes when we used to sell them?
People asked last night, and I was.
I mean, literally, I mean, it wasn't really much
Right.
after we took salaries away. I mean, it was a little bit, we were never in the negative, but we were never.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
always
it's
like.
about a wash.
Yeah.
Between the back and the staff.
Right.
Yeah. Not a real money maker, but it's recreation.
Right.
Yeah, so we can put that on the agenda for a bigger discussion next meeting. It will be nice to have Margaret here as well, so she can kind of give us an idea of what she's planning on doing, then we can piggyback off of that. Okay, cool. So, that is good, so nothing else in team reports, so we can go over to departmental update. Dory?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I put Laura's review on. It's just, not that it's necessarily an agenda item, but just for your review and go through if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And the only other thing I have, well, two things. The other thing is the monthly April events. You have that in your packet, list the events. And the other thing is the work on the roof is really going to start tomorrow morning. Really going to happen tomorrow morning.
Once.
I guarantee.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay,
And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
awesome. Does anybody have any discussion about departmental update?
So it should be this week, Roger, the roof? Are they gonna finish this week? Or is it?
I don't know how many days, they're looking at probably 3 or 4 days to do the most of the work, I think.
Okay.
They're supposed to be here tomorrow by 8.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, we got caretaker report. Maddie?
I just have a question. So in regards to we had the double parties 2 weekends ago, which was the first time we ever had that. And then we had an event last weekend, so it was all just parties, which is nice, like mellow, good, like chill start. In terms of the 5-hour events, so there's a 1-hour setup for the 5-hour events?
It's, if I may,
Yeah.
it's within the 5 hours. It's just 5 hours. If you want to do 2 hours of setup and 3 hours of party, and then the opportunity is they can purchase additional setup hours.
So the playbooks that we had said that they were allotted an hour setup time, and they all came early.
They purchased 2 additional hours.
The one last weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so that's why I was double checking, because I was confused, because for me, I didn't know that they had 2 hours extra, so I showed up and then they were already here. So I didn't have a chance to like clean up anything, because I expected it to be like when they set up, they came at their 5 hours, they came at their 5 hours. So I just wanted to double check so I could allot that time, because like weddings, I expect 4 hours. So I put that into my scheduling and put us before that. So I noticed that they had set up hours, so I just wanted to make sure that I was accommodating for that. So like if there is set up hours, that would be good for us to know, just so I don't have to, I can overlap us a little bit, just so we're ready. Because the struggle is like, we don't have people cleaning as frequently as we normally do because we don't have the hours, so we need to come in extra early before these events to make sure it's getting mopped and things like that. So I didn't get a chance to do that because they were here already. And then, there was some, not all of my brain cells. What? Yeah, we just need to start getting layouts again. But I know that they were the first couple parties. But those would be nice. Even though I know the parties were pretty low key, but those would be awesome to have. And then the other thing too is that if we're gonna start, we were talking about the COVID, I was gonna wait until we got to us, is the hiring. Are we gonna hire caretakers too? We talked about part-time caretakers. No?
I don't.
We don't have enough bodies to cover all the weddings this season and keep up with all the stuff we normally keep up with, because we lost a lot of caretakers in that.
How many, what do we have, how many caretakers? Event caretakers.
Just Evelyn. So, I mean, Jess is really limited in her hours, and Madison's been on call now because she's got another job. I mean, Jen and Roger are willing to come in and help us with events, 100%. But they would be, I know that they would love to be outside and do all that kind of stuff, so I don't want to like overwork them and expect them to be hours here and the weddings, but I know they're super willing to be there. In terms of like people who just work events for the most part, it's just Evelyn.
How many more do we need?
I mean, 3 would be great if they're just part-time, only here for this season, not hired as like a
Seasonal.
seasonal caretaker, not a part-time caretaker.
Right.
Because I think that's what happened to us last time, is we hired a lot of people, and they were all part-times, and then when the hours slimmed out, we didn't have as much to give to anybody anymore.
Right.
But just for the wedding season, limited hours, just so that we can switch. We need at least 5 people per wedding. So for 2 openers, 1 middler, and 2 closers. And if we have, that gives us 5, and then we have Janice and Madison if we need them, and Roger and Jen if we need them.
So if we can get 3 more, it would
We
be.
can get 3 more seasonals, that would be ideal.
I know we are looking at the job descriptions for that. We posted that last summer. I think I can post it again.
And I believe we got them reapproved at the Legion personnel as well. There was a coordinator, facilities manager, and caretaker.
All right, we're trying.
Do they have to be, for event coordinator, for event caretakers, do they have to be 18 or above?
No, we put that in the job description, they just have more limits if they're younger. Like, I think we had a 15-year-old once, which was tough because he was super limited, but like, I think there's just limited hours over the school year and then versus the summer for anyone like 16 or so. There's like mass laws, like can't work after a certain time or something like that.
Right.
But, and they can't clean the table off with alcohol. But one of our caretakers we had for this season was under 18.
Yeah.
They were 18, and they just couldn't clean the table off, which was fine. There's plenty of other things to do.
Okay.
Oh, the only other thing I was gonna say is that, the double booking went pretty good. So the first half one left early. I was just trying to it was our first one, so I scheduled myself for the center just to see how crazy the turnover would be. Because we have, especially baby showers tend to go late, so I was worried that they were gonna try to hold off and take a long time to leave, and then the other ones were gonna come in, and how much time we were gonna need in between, we've never done it before. So luckily the baby shower left early, which gave us a little bit of wiggle room time. The party came an hour early, so what we learned was we 100% need a minimum of 2 hours in between, because 3 would be great, but a minimum of 2, because there's the risk factor of them staying late. We lucked out because the baby shower left early, but usually those take forever because they're packing the gifts, and it's we can't shove them out the building. So expect them to be at least a half an hour longer, and then to be able to do the cleaning and turning everything over and resetting for the next one. I think that would be the best. It was fine doing the double. We had enough caretakers. I think it all worked out. It was cool having a longer day, but definitely needs a 2 hour to 3 hour window in between the 2 events. So that 2 hours works. Just to make sure that we have appropriate
So just
time.
to make sure when we get those, just to make sure that the timing works out.
Right.
And obviously, weddings can't double work, but this is an update to how those went for the weekend. And then as long as we know ahead of time for any extra hour stuff, that'll be helpful for scheduling things, yeah.
Okay, Roger? you have anything?
You had mentioned about the beach, the sand being piled up by the highway. Is that something we're definitely going to do?
That'll be a discussion that we'll have next week, or next meeting.
Okay.
That'll be kind of something we have to do. Yeah.
All right. The north end power was taken care of by the electrician the other day, so the bathroom is all ready to go, and the craft cabin, that's all livened up again. So that's been cured. As Dory said, the roof is going to be started tomorrow. Originally it was going to be today, and Sunday he gave me a call and said, I got to put it off a day. So keep your fingers crossed, it comes in tomorrow. For this event you have on the 10th that you just put, are we going to need the bathrooms turned on out there, or are we going to strictly use this one?
The yoga retreat?
When do we want to have the water department turn?
The steam
Right.
event?
When do we want to have the water department turn the water back on here?
Ooh, that's a good point.
I mean, I was just thinking, because they're gonna be, it's the plant, so she'll be, I was just thinking just to do the south end bathhouse, she'll just open that.
Yeah, but it comes back to it. So how long does it usually take the water department to turn on the water? Is it a couple of days?
They'll come out a day or two after, after the rest.
Okay.
If you want it on for that weekend, I'll have it turned on ahead of time, and we'll just have to flush the system out, which is not hard to do, to get the antifreeze out of it.
Okay. So two things about that. So first thing is we need to have a process for winterizing and then de-winterizing that. So whenever that takes place, whenever we de-winterize or winterize any of the bathrooms, please write down a checklist on how to do it, just so we know how to do it in the future. So we're keeping it consistent every year. And then I think so we can probably do that. I don't want to say too early because I don't want it to freeze again. We're gonna have an issue over there. But if it only takes a day or two to get it up, we can.
I mean, we can always, for the 10th, we can open the bathrooms here, I mean, I can take it, I can open it.
So yeah.
The
So
yoga retreat is in the lodge mostly, and then they're gonna do a walk around.
So I think by next meeting, we'll have a better idea if the weather's going to go south.
That's fine.
So what we'll do is we'll make the decision at that meeting whether we should turn the water back on in the bathhouses, just to make sure it doesn't freeze or anything.
Exactly, that's fine, yep.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. You guys got anything? Any items or anything like that that you need addressed or report? No? Okay. Awesome. So one thing with the caretaker stuff, if we're gonna cut down trees, make sure you have somebody there with you. If it's not like a branch on the ground or something like that, any big tree, it's a building or something like that, please have somebody with you. If it needs a crane, don't cut it down. Use your best judgment. That's the last thing I need.
Is there a plan for that tree that the root system and all that?
Yes. The plan is, after we get the okay, I know you guys have, as a board, have okayed it. When we get the bigger chainsaw, that's going to get completed at that time, along with the other one that took the cabin out.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other equipment that you absolutely can't do without this season coming up? I know that we had a chainsaw and a power washer that's there. Do you guys have any other equipment that you think you might need, or anything like that?
Another lawnmower might not be too bad.
Okay. Is it okay? So is it something that we desperately need for this year, or is it something that would be nice to
Well, we
have?
only have one,
Okay.
so if something happens to that, we can,
Okay. Okay.
no, that would die, so
Yep.
I'll actually see if we can purchase it out of the CPC money for the North End.
Yeah.
We can do that.
And we can, I know we discussed the chainsaw and the power washer coming from that gentleman who we have an account with, the power, then we have the account with
that Morgan.
Morgan's, yeah.
Yes, Morgan. So maybe he might be able to get us a good deal on a lawnmower for buying all three of them at one time. Maybe he'll be able to give us a discount or something like that he can do.
Yeah, because if the one we have died here,
Okay. Yeah, mine died just a couple of days ago, so.
You know, Bill?
Yeah.
I have a quick question on
Sure.
tools. I mean, I know Roger mentioned it once before, and I think Colin or one of these guys might have mentioned it. That leaf blower that Ed bought, the hardware store, the battery one. Do we have like the funding to buy like a backup battery for that? Because right now we only have one battery for it, and it wears out really
Is that
quick.
the, what is it, like the 20 volt or something like that? What is it like?
Yeah, I think it's 20 volts.
Is it 20 volt? Okay.
Just so we have like one, we can use it, and then when that battery died, we just.
So I think the battery's like $100 or something.
Yeah. We always sell the leaf blower, like the drill for $35 and the battery for 120.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, we gotta do is maybe just get a whole other blower and battery.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Kind of comes out the same.
Yeah.
But then you have a backup battery as well.
Yeah.
We're waiting on from, not the finance committee, who?
I'll know tomorrow, yeah.
What is his status?
Town accountant?
Town accountant. That is also included that because we did discuss that here once before.
Yeah.
Getting a second leaf blower, so we'd have a second battery for backup on it, yeah.
And the Community Preservation Committee is in favor of it, just want to make sure that it's proper, that it's correct, and I'll find out tomorrow.
We just don't want to get in trouble down the road.
Yeah, we get a couple weeks before we need to start, leaf blowing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, so that's good. I just wanted to get kind of a handle on it. So if we can get, if you can send me what kind of leaf blower you guys have. I'm not sure which one it is, if it's like a Cobalt or a Craftsman or something like that. I could look to see what the batteries go for.
Ego.
Yeah, I think it's an Eco, yeah, green one.
Go?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll look up the batteries for it and see how much they cost and I'll bring it up. Okay. The other things, I probably should have done this under team reports, but sorry. I'm going to make a list of things that need committee approval and things that do not need committee approval for around the camp. Please send me your ideas of what you guys do, just day to day, things that, fixing one thing might need approval, while, weed whacking the front doesn't need approval, things like that. I want to make a list so everybody knows exactly what needs to be approved by the committee before they just go off and do it. So if you guys have any ideas, please feel free to email me those and I can make a list up and I can bring it to the next meeting. I think that's it. Is there any other discussion? Anything else?
Frank, one quick one. I gave Dory the information from Home Depot, so she's going to follow through with what we discussed on that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you. And that was just for the pavers. The pavers,
Yes.
that's over in the front. We approved that. Yeah, we approved that a couple. Yeah, and we were gonna get the credit card from the fire department, but they don't give credit cards out anymore at the fire department because somebody didn't pay them. So we just need to get an invoice from Home Depot and bring it to the town accountant so we can write a check for it. So yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, if there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
I almost thought I wasn't gonna have a second day for that. Okay, all those in favor? Awesome, great, thank you, everybody.